So, not being a financier, I'm going to speak to maybe one of the questions where I suppose a lot of people have a problem with finding funders, and I think that's one of the beautiful things about FinFind. I mean, we are the largest online platform in our format in South Africa that we incorporate both government and private sector. So, instead of searching for a bricks and mortar fund or financier, you'll simply go onto our platform, which is www.finfindeasy.co.za. Tell us about yourself, tell us about your business, tell us about the funding that you're looking for, and we'll connect you with everyone that's on our platform. So whether it be the IDC, whether it be ABSA, whether it be Old Mutual, Masizane, if you match their funding criteria, we'll connect you with them. So we'll give you all the application, their contact numbers, their links, their email addresses, etc., etc. And the beauty is we'll only connect you with them if you meet their criteria. So you would actually be almost a pre-vetted lead for them. So the entire funding cycle is completely shifted because now you're being matched with people who actually want to talk to you. So we're completely removing the scenario of approaching a funder or a financier and you don't meet their criteria. We've got a lot of corporates that are behind us. The Banking Association of South Africa is behind us in terms of support. We've got Business Leadership South Africa, USAID. So it's a fantastic solution, and I'd encourage you to go on there, log a profile, have a look at the funding solutions that come up for you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Tule, I just need you to, if you can, quickly just give advice on how one deals with a bad credit listing in terms of the credit onboard and checking for your credit worthiness and all of those things, and how one would go about trying to clear that, because I think that's quite important.
Yeah, so just to clarify, I'm a transactional lawyer, so I don't deal with I advise corporates and financial institutions. But in terms of judgments, I think the principle is that it's not about FICA compliance or the issue that there's someone at the bank who's just ticking off boxes. The principle lies on, in law we say, what first in time, right in law. So what the bank, in terms of judgment, what it does is it looks at you and says, okay, I'm going to give this person funding, but the issue in law is that you might have a competing claim. Because this person has a judgment against them, there can be another creditor who can come at any time and liquidate this person or sequestrate this person, whatever the case is, whether it's a company or an individual, take the same assets, assuming that you do fund a person with a judgment. Now it means that it's what we say, you are funding a defaulting project. So you're giving your company or the individual money, essentially giving that other creditor access. Assuming that the new creditor you're not, let's say you're not secured, you're what we call concurrent creditors. So it means that if that company goes under liquidation, you will sit at the same table with the other creditor with the judgment and share whatever the liquidator agrees, whether it's 1 rand to every 10 rand or whatever it is. But that's part of your money. So that's essentially what the bank is trying to guard against, and hence most, especially the DFIs, they go through the trouble of finding out, okay, what is this judgment about? Have you entered into certain arrangement? Is there a settlement agreement that you've entered into? We want to have a look at it, we want to see the terms of that agreement. And you'll find that sometimes, depending on how far you are on the project, it will be one of the conditions for them to fund. They'll require you to discharge that obligation, or somehow set out in the loan agreement the terms and conditions. For example, they say within 6 months we want evidence that this judgment has fallen away or has been settled in full, things like that. But it's not a matter of, no, I've got a bad judgment. It's actually about the competing claim. That's essentially what they're trying to guard against.
Thank you.
And then on the audited financial statements, what I typically see is I think it was mentioned before that if it's an SMME, you're not required to audit your financials. Typically what you require is, you will just require a letter from an auditor saying this company falls within this threshold, and the bank is able to fund on that basis. That's what I've seen in my experience.
Oh, that helps, thank you. I think that will be the end of our session for now, just because of time. We're going to ask the gentleman from ABSA to stay on and explain what this alternative ABSA funding instrument is, and then we can ask questions after that. To the panel, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Not sure if I'm going to put my presentation, but I'd just like to continue from that discussion. You know, there are essential things that we are trying to address, but I don't know if the organizers told me a different time and then told other people a different time, because they only told me 15 minutes. So others had longer to speak, but I'll try to, Eloshin, when you're the pastor, I feel like I'm a pastor now in the township in a funeral, because everyone speaks and they take their time. And when it's the pastor's time to speak, they always say, Pastor, the hearse is here, we have to leave. But, and I'll also speak about specifically what I was asked to speak about. I have a lot of things that I can share that we are doing as a bank. But the overarching thing when it comes to enterprise development that we're doing as a bank is we have identified the fact that access to finance is not the main thing. That is what I've identified. I did some stats last year in terms of the inquiries that we get from our online platforms. And what we saw is